And their response was, well, you couldn't live without money. Think about that. Just think about that notion right there. You couldn't live without money. This person is under such deep mind control that they are equating life force energy itself with money. It's like saying you couldn't live without the unified life force energy of the cosmos. That isn't what they said, though. They said you couldn't live without money. This is placing money in the position of God. It is giving the attributes of God to an imaginary construct that has been made up by man. And I understand what they meant by you can't live without money. Believe me, I get that people won't do anything for other people because they're under such hypnotic trance. I get that. Okay? I understand what they meant, that if you try to completely do away with this concept and don't engage it at all, that you'll probably be living homeless on the street, because that is that is the level of care people truly have for their brother and sister in the modern world. That's the fact of the matter. That's the fact of the matter. That is currently true now as we speak. It doesn't have to be that way. It can change anytime we want to change our level of consciousness. It all exists in a choice. And that choice is in the present moment, the now, and it can be changed immediately if we so choose it. Now, I am currently making that choice. I understand that this is an illusion, it's a construct. It has absolutely nothing to do with reality. Yet, other people believe in it so strongly that this is their religion. It has usurped the place of God in most people's minds. That is what money has done. That's why I call it the one and only religion. And it doesn't make a difference what religion people say that they're a member of. This is their God. You watch the movie They Live, the science fiction movie, the science fiction allegory called They Live. I highly recommend it. A caller brought it up last week or a couple weeks ago, and I highly recommend taking a look at this movie called They Live. And in it, the hero looks at money through these glasses that can show him the truth, okay, in this science fiction allegory. And right on the bill that the other character is holding in his hands, it says, "This is your God," on the money. That's what's actually printed there. And everybody else using it doesn't see that. But when the main character puts on these glasses, he sees the world of reality as it truly is to his eyes. He then is able to see it.
I'm going to put that on a shirt.
A great allegorical film. And that is exactly the thrall that people are held in by this system. And I'm just setting up this to talk about the occult aspects of money. We can get into how the banks work. We can get into all of the different frauds that they pull. We could talk about the Federal Reserve System and who owns it. And that's all very important. We have to understand how the financial system does indeed work. But I'm trying to get people to a deeper level of comprehension about the construct itself of money. When you look into the occult side of this, it becomes extremely interesting, and things that you would not have ordinarily understood become manifest to the light of day. Understand that ultimately what the dark occultists want to do is to have you equate certain concepts with money. And the first is that it is the determining flow of energy in the world, meaning that it is the life force itself. It is the generator of life force. Now, I want to be very clear about what I'm saying here, okay? I don't go this into depth in my presentation. I'm going to expand on this greatly on the air, okay? The occultists who ultimately own the financial systems of the world, who are wielding an illusion over people's minds. That's what this is. It's a mind control illusion. To get people to act the way they want them to act. This is 100% behavioral control through a construct that only exists in the mind. These occultists, and they are occultists. I'm not telling you that that is my belief. I don't really care if you accept that. Accept it or do not accept it. I know that they are occultists. I know that they are occultists because I worked with some of them directly, myself. And I've talked briefly about how I was involved in systems of dark occultism, and I will get more into that in the future on this show. However, I'm laying that down as a truth that I know to exist, not a belief. Okay? The occultists that own and control the financial systems of this world, okay, the very first thing that they need you to believe is that money is life force energy. Now, they do this through many means, largely through symbolism, which I'm going to get into tonight. And to tell you the truth, I think what I may do, we'll see how this goes over the next 15, 20 minutes or so. I don't know how much about the Fed I'm going to get into tonight. I don't know how much about how interest works and about how the Fed was created and about the families that own it and about, how the fractional reserve currency system, fiat currency system works. We'll see. I would probably rather leave that for the show that's coming up in 2 weeks, which I guess this is a good opportunity to tell you about. I'm going to be interviewing James Yeager in 2 weeks' time, September 28th, right here on this show. James Yeager is the documentary filmmaker that made the great documentary Fiat Empire. Fiat Empire. Fiat is spelled F-I-A-T. Fiat, it's a Latin word. It means so be it, or let it be. And this also ties right into the concept I'm talking about right now, because the word fiat is the first word that is attributed to the God of creation in the Bible. God, in the story of Genesis, the creator, speaks the universe into existence with the words in Latin, fiat lux. Let there be light. Fiat lux. Well, the word fiat means let there be. That is the kind of monetary system we have. One that is simply spoken into existence by those who have taken the place of God in this world. And they are the gods of this world with a small g. They think they're God, big G. They can think that all they want, it'll never make it true. But essentially, by giving them our consent and our belief, and therefore our power to abuse something with consciousness and power and control over other people, we have essentially agreed and made them into gods, the money masters. They call their system fiat currency. Let there be energy, currency, current. This is the energy that we say exists, and this is what runs the world. This is what the world runs on. Our creation that was spoken from our lips. And because we say it's real, it exists and it is real. Well, folks, only your belief is holding that up. Say whatever you want. Get as mad about that as you want. You want to know who keeps the world in slavery? It is not these occultists. It is not. It is not the occultists who own the monetary systems. Get over it. Get over it. It is not them. It is us. The end. The end. Our belief is what creates the slavery that's in the world. Period. Period. Get out of the belief that this nonsensical construction that does not exist in nature is real, and the world will change. The external manifestation that we have collectively created will change, and not a moment before. Those barriers in the mind are broken down. Not one moment before. So my guest in 2 weeks, James Yeager, will talk about the creation of the Federal Reserve. We will get into energy itself as a construct. You know, how their and other energy is oil that they've created and that they claim to own the resources of this planet. And ultimately, that is really the ultimate currency, because it keeps the world in motion. See, it's all about motion. The dynamic energy of motion, the flow of things. These are all critically important terms and words to understand how they're used. Oil, it's something that lubricates, it keeps things flowing. We burn it for light. We burn it for fuel. This is the currency of the elite class, the so-called elite class, the controllers.
A few years ago, he said it was the lives of little children. So, something to think about.
The sorcerers, the occultists of the world, the mind control masters, the manipulators that essentially own the minds of the human populace, because people don't want to think and don't want to have any discernment over what is actually real or not real. And they want to make excuses, and they want to absolve themselves of personal responsibility. Always, always. That's what the cry is. Oh, you couldn't live without money. No, you don't want to have to live in a way that you have 100% responsibility over your own actions. Therefore, you want to accept the creation of this utter garbage, nonsensical notion called money that somehow has any power or sway over your lives, your actions, your decisions, your behaviors. It's all about not wanting to think, folks. Let's be real honest about it. Let's be real honest about it. And stop blaming other people over, they're the manipulators and woe is us. Bull. Okay, bull. It takes compliance for this system to be perpetuated. And yeah, because so many people believe in it, unquestioningly, it's their religion. And again, the word religion is to hold back, to tie back, to thwart. It comes from the Latin religare, religo, religare. And untie